Good morning. We are day 129, I think. Anyway, it's not that cold out anymore. We're just getting started. We have a 22-mile day here, so we're up bright and early. The sun hasn't even fully come up, and the days are just getting shorter. I'm not a big fan of that, but that's out of my control. So there you go. So we just get up in the dark, and I might need my lights starting today. But it is a 21-mile day, so that's why we're starting a little early. And there's my blaze. I just gotta figure out where to go from here. Oh, I think I just go straight ahead. All right. Well, it's supposed to be a nice day. It did rain last night. We stayed at the Virginia Creeper Trailhead just because even though we came into Damascus last night, there's nowhere to park here. So, yeah, I'm on the trail, going through this cute little neighborhood. And the puppies apparently are up early too. But I'm getting my light out today. It's way dark in here. I'll show you. So that extra light is from my phone, not because it's light out. It's quite dark in here, so I think I'll be starting with a headlight. So we're on the right spot, and trail looks decent. I have to start off with about a 1,600 foot climb, and then that's pretty much, well, that's never pretty much, but that's the big climb of the morning. After that, it kind of flattens out, drops down, does all its usual puds, and then ends a nice long day with an uphill. Let's flip this. Oh, you can't even see me. Okay, so that's pretty much the day of the day. We've left Damascus. I'm officially under 500 miles to go, and today we hit Tennessee. So I will chat with you again when we hit Tennessee in a couple miles, because it'll be brighter then and I won't trip and fall. All right, let's get started. Officially in Tennessee. We are at the state line, and I guess I'm entering Cherokee National Forest. I've been climbing and climbing. And I think I still have more to climb. But the sun is out, and it is nice out right now. But we're gonna keep going because I'm only, how far am I? I'm 3.5 miles in. But, hello Tennessee, see you Virginia. I actually really enjoyed you as a state, other than that cold day, but that wasn't your fault. It was a beautiful state. All right, let's see what Tennessee has to offer. And I gotta say, this is my first time in Tennessee. I've been in many of the states, but never the ones in the middle. And although this is not really in the middle, it's more in the middle than I've been. So, my first experience in Tennessee, and the birds are singing. Oh, they were singing. As soon as I bring my camera out, the birds stop every time. It's most frustrating. All right, look at that sunshine. Let's keep going. Okay, so I just saw the sign that bears are active in this area, and I actually passed by a few hikers this morning. I'm going uphill again, so I apologize if I'm huffing and a puffing, but I passed by a few hikers this morning who were on their way to Damascus, and they said they heard yesterday a bunch of dogs, like the kind I experienced a couple of, it's about a week ago now, where they're not really hunting them per se, they're just chasing them. And I guess the point of that is just to kind of keep the bears fearful and active and trying to move away from populated trails, etc., I guess. I mean, no one's officially told me that, but that is what a few hikers have told me. So I'm assuming that's what that sign means. But we're headed up to a shelter shortly here, and I'm gonna have some lunch and keep on going, because that shelter sits at 11 miles, which is just slightly over halfway. So I expect I'll probably meet Jeff there, or pretty darn close to it. All right, I need to breathe. Okay, so this is McQueen's Knob Shelter. I should have looked a little closer. I forgot. The shelter here isn't maintained by the Appalachian Conservancy. It's more of just an emergency shelter. So if you're single and it's raining, this would be a good place to be, but it's, pretty sketch. But it's still here, and I think it's been here for a long time. So, again, emergency shelter. But this is where I was planning to get to, well, because it just said shelter, I didn't read, because most of the shelters have picnic tables and everything, and so that's where I was going to have lunch, but this doesn't have any of those things. So we'll go a little bit further and find a place or a log to have lunch at instead. Okay, my bad for not paying attention. All right, well, let's go back up again. Okay, the last half mile, the famous barn, and of course someone added graffiti to it because they add graffiti to everything out here. And this is the last of the trail, so that's it for the end of tonight. I will throw up a small picture of, well, not a small picture, a picture of some subscribers that I met on trail. So it was really nice to meet all three of you, and
Very nice people.
hope your hike goes well. All right, that's pretty much it for tonight. And my feet are sore. I've got, like I said, about a half mile left to go. Good morning. We are on day 130, I believe. We're just getting up now. I'm going to finish my breakfast and then we're going to get going. We're here at the trailhead where we ended yesterday. I don't know if there's a specific name for this trailhead or not, to be quite honest. Maybe I mentioned it yesterday. Anyway, you can hear the birdies singing. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. All the fall colors. It was a good place to sleep last night. Sun's not up yet, but we got a little bit of light. All right, so we're going to get going soon. I just wanted to get started on the day. All right. Oh, and just to mention, our day today is going to be a 20-mile day. That's kind of why I was starting a bit early. 20.5. And then we'll be, I think, at a trailhead. We're going to go into Elizabethtown afterwards because we got to go to Walmart to get some resupply. We're getting a little low on some stuff. And this is the first Walmart we've had access to in a while. All right, so with that, I'm going to go get some coffee and some breakfast and get going. Okay, well, happy Friday the 13th. That doesn't sound ominous. But it's a beautiful day, so, you know. It's day 130, as I mentioned earlier. So we're doing a 20.5 mile day. Elevations, I think, is pretty much about the same as yesterday. So lots of up and down as the story goes. And yeah, it looks like a beautiful fall day. We haven't had too many issues with wildlife and whatnot. I have mentioned that there have been aggressive bears. Oh, neat, they have a little sign here. We are at elevation 3,450 feet right now on the Tennessee 91. But where we came through yesterday, there was, I guess, a tenting spot there where there was an aggressive deer. And I didn't. Jeff spoke to the hikers who stayed at that place the day before, I guess. And the aggressive deer actually ripped a hole in the guy's tent. We knew that that deer was there because a friend of ours, one of our family members, had gone through about a week and a half ago and had mentioned it. So, yeah, aggressive deer. And the bears haven't been an issue, but they've been running dogs. I haven't heard any dogs, but other people have mentioned they've seen them. So, and I had seen them that one time, so I have no doubt they're out here. But today is a beautiful morning. Looks like it'll be a nice day. There was no rain in the forecast today. Well, a small chance, so who knows? Being Friday the 13th, anything is possible. But it looks gorgeous and the sun's just starting to peek over the mountains, so we have a bit of light, so I don't have to talk to you in the dark this morning like yesterday. The canopy in here isn't quite as thick, but it looks nice. So I'll show you what I'm running on. It's quite nice, actually. Who am I kidding? Virginia was beautiful for trails, and Tennessee looks just the same. So I'm very pleased about that. Oh, after starting with horrible trail terrain, well, no, I shouldn't say horrible, challenging trail terrain. My mouth not fully functioning this morning. I did have coffee though. But yeah, since starting off with very challenging trail terrain, this has just been such a treat. And these rhododendron forests do get dark. So this is where you're gonna feel like we're back a couple of hours in the morning, but it's just that they're quite thick and the leaves are hastily falling, definitely are turning all their beautiful colors. There won't be many leaves left by the time I'm done. And at the end of today, we will have approximately 430 miles left to go. So not much. It's the end is nigh, as they say. All right, enough of me chit-chatting. Let's get on hiking. I'm just climbing. And as I'm climbing, I was just thinking, yesterday I was looking at my stats and I never really put them up. But I have an Apple phone, and as anyone who owns one of those, and maybe Androids do as well, they have a sort of a health section in it, which lets you know how many steps you did or how many stairs or flights of stairs you've done and other stuff that they track, which is useful and kind of unnerving. But anyway, yeah, so just to let you know, a 21-mile day for my Canadian friends and those in the metric world is roughly 30.3 kilometers. So a good sized day, to be sure. And it's roughly 54,000 and some odd steps. I'm a short gal, so my steps are shorter, but I'm not sure how they measure it because I carry my phone kind of on my chest pocket. So I don't know how accurate that actually is, but approximately. And yesterday, whew, you can hear me huffing, although not a huge elevation day compared to a lot of days, it was still decent enough. But I climbed roughly 163 flights of stairs according to my data. So today should be roughly the same because I'm not going that many miles less. But I think I tracked it out once to the biggest flights that I climbed. Not necessarily steps, because that, you know, that just depends on the big mile days. So I know that those days are going to be the biggest steps. So the biggest flights, I think it was almost 300 flights of stairs that I did in one day. And that was up the Kinsman. And not because other hills weren't higher, but because it was a really long day. That was a 20+ mile day too, which also affects clearly. I mean, the further you go, the more elevation you can do. But it was because it was from the bottom to the top, back to the bottom, and back up again, and it was quite a day. Oh, I love how the trail people who do this will randomly throw the trail signs in the wood. But yeah, so my biggest flight of stairs was just under 300 flights. So, you know, that is way more than I ever thought I would do, because I used to practice my stairs at work, because I worked in a hospital on the 5th floor and there were 2 flights to every floor. So I would walk the 10 flights a couple of times a day just for practice, and they would always wind me. So I'm pretty impressed I can do that now. All right, just a little piece of information in case you wanted to know. Today has been gorgeous so far. Still pretty early. Still making it to the top. Sun's out, sky's blue. It is a gorgeous fall day, and the temperature's not bad. It's supposed to get up to a high of 22 degrees Celsius. So mid 70s. So truly a perfect fall day. All right, time to go get my exercise. Okay, so that buck picture, or male deer, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the term buck, although I think most people do know, the young little guy, picture I took, he is the aggressive deer that I have been hearing about for the past week and a half. He has ripped several tents, talking to the two gentlemen at the shelter there, didn't get them too many issues, but you know, they kind of had to hold sticks and poles out so he wouldn't come and attack their packs. The deer had attacked a few other people's packs and put holes in them. So he kind of a jerk. Not sure what he's protecting around here or why he's aggressive like that, but he was hanging out with them because I think they've got food out, and so he really didn't give two craps about me, which I'm ambivalent about, frankly. I'm glad he's not trying to chase me down. Although that would be funny, at least until he got me, and then probably less funny. But either way, that was the aggressive deer. That's a first. I've never heard of aggressive deer before. All right, well, I'm going to continue on. It's a tiny little window of view, and it is windy up here. So all our poor leaves are falling fast and furiously. Okay, so I finally got a first little glimpse of Watauga Lake. That's where we're headed down that direction. It's been pretty windy up here, so I don't know if you can hear the audio. I'm trying to shield it, but looks like a nice lake. Cute. Alright, we're just heading to a shelter, I think around mile 9 or 10, somewhere in there anyway, to have some lunch. Should be coming up soon. I'm probably about a half mile out, but still a gorgeous day. All right, let's keep going.